Hello, it's me. I think the organization will be making their move soon. A couple episodes ago, in the radio building, I met a genius girl by the name of Makase Kurusu. Later on in that episode, I also found the same genius girl, Makase Kurusu, stabbed in a closet, alone and bleeding, most likely dead. And now, what is going on, guys? My name is Aura, and welcome to Steins Gate Elite. I stare at her face in disbelief. Makase Kurusu. Is there something wrong? You should be. I'm taking out my headphones. This part I always found extremely awkward in the anime. You should be dead. Why are you here? And you're even... There isn't a single blood stain on her clothes, and they're the same ones she was wearing when I found her. Ooh, the organization's after us, Okabe. We need to get... Only a serious wound could have produced that much blood. Yet as far as I can tell, she's completely uninjured. Not a scratch? I realize that I'm gasping in disbelief. What's wrong with you? You're okay? But that's impossible. Someone stabbed you. I saw you lying in a pool of blood. Hey, could you not talk about me like that? I'm perfectly fine. Is she an illusion? No, an evil spirit? Am I haunted? I don't believe in such unscientific drivel. I'm a mad scientist. Feel silky. Please make it stop. Make it stop. This is so awkward. Okabe, this Kurusu doesn't know you. Stop. Substance. She has substance. Of course she's not a ghost. How silly of me. I should probably say that in the mic instead of, like, a substance. She has substance. Of course she's not a ghost. How silly of me. Her skin's so soft, so alive. Dead bodies don't feel like this. Not that I've ever touched one. Kurusu is gonna kill Okabe. Ocarine, I don't think that's a good idea. Eek. Hey! Are you trying to get yourself arrested? I just want to know the truth. That's right, she was stabbed. Maybe she's just hiding her wounds. This requires further investigation. No, Okabe, no, stop. This is, no, consent. I grabbed the hem of her jacket. This is, okay, so if you're wondering why it's taken me so long to get a third episode of this out, because this is a game I've been really excited for, and I expected to do a lot more episodes of. I was trying to get Michael, Jared, and One Fime, like in the first episode, to join me for this one, to give me a little courage to move forward, but this is awkward. And, let's just say, I don't know exactly how to describe it, but if like a movie, game, whatever gets really awkward, like I feel like I need to leave. Like that is how bad my anxiety is. I've been that way since I was a wee lad, but I grab the hem of her jacket, pull it aside and take a good look at her chest. Okay. What truth, you perv? You stupid wanna die? Louis Chan's famous line for the win. I know what I saw. Earlier this afternoon, after Dr. Nakabachi's presentation, someone killed Makase Kurisu and left her in a pool of blood. I carefully explained everything that I saw. Wait, Dr. Nakabashi? What are you talking about, Ocarine? Dr. Nakabashi's presentation was cancelled. Cancelled? Yeah, because of the satellite crash. Something's wrong. Our stories aren't matching. Okay, we're past the awkward part. I can continue reading now. It's the same thing that happened right after I saw the mass disappearance. Mayuri's story didn't match mine. I need to know. Am I caught in some sinister plot? Is this another organization conspiracy? Excuse me, my name is Hyoin Kyoma! Really, man, you're hopeless. Okay, Hyoin-san, I'd like to hear your story in more detail. Looks like she finally understands I'm not lying, but I still don't understand why my memories don't match everyone else's. I doubt that I can give her a good explanation. Makase-san, it's almost time. Huh? Oh, right, thank you. Oh no, I forgot about this part too. Kurisu glances at me one more time, then sighs and heads towards the small conference room. We should go too. Go where? To hear the lecture, duh. Aw, that. Did she come to attend the lecture too? Strange. Why would the girl genius, Makase Kurisu, need to attend a lecture like this? Okay, my guess was a bit off. The girl genius didn't come to attend the lecture. I'd like to thank everyone for coming to hear me speak today. She's the one giving the lecture? Japan's famous girl genius, Makase Kurisu, who had her thesis published at the tender age of 17. According to Daru, she turned 18 a few days ago. I first heard about her when Daru pointed her out in a gossip magazine article. It's my first time giving a lecture like this, so please forgive me if I'm a little nervous. Those clapping scared the crap out of me because it sounded like I was like touching plastic somewhere or something. I was like, is there plastic on my keyboard? Because I can't see my hand past my mic. Okay, the audience is pretty mixed. I know what I'm saying is really stupid. You can ignore it. It's mostly students like us, but there are also a couple of professors. And Kurisu just gave me a sharp look. What did I do? When I stare back at her, she quickly looks away. I don't care if she's a genius or whatever. I still don't like her. You tsundere. And I'm not talking about Kurisu, even though she is one too. I'm talking about Okabe. They both tsunderes. Okabe, tsundere, kind of Makase, kind of sound. They all sound somewhat similar, you know. I'm just saying it's not a coincidence. Okay, she may have these people fooled with her timid girl act, but I learned at Radican, or the radio building, if you would like, if you prefer the English dubbed, how cunning and aggressive she really is. Even if her murder was some kind of hallucination, my judgment of her character is still correct. For today's lecture, I've been asked to speak on the subject of time travel. It's not really my area of expertise, but I'll try my best. Time travel? Oh ho. Let me start by saying that time travel is an absurd concept. No, I'm leaving. Bye. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Roll the end card. Okay. I'm dancing in my room because I don't want to read this. I don't want to read this. This is awkward. Okabe, shut up. If I had a webcam, you'd see, guys. I'm actually doing some weird janky dance I've never done before. I'm just no, Okabe. No, you need to stop it. What? Ace Attorney for the win, but objection. Let's get it over with. Okay.
Hua? It's presumptuous for you to claim that time travel is absurd. Okarin, you magnificent fool.
It's so hard for me to watch this.
An ATF staffer entered the room, ready to kick me out, but Kurisu stopped him.
Perhaps I got too carried away. Okay, it's fine. I guess it'll be easier to talk in a discussion format. Thanks to her proposal, the event staff refrained from escorting me out. I don't want to be here. She sounds a little pissed, but let's not mind that. Okabe, you magnificent fool. But before that, please listen to my thoughts on the subject. Scientists have proposed many theoretical models of time travel, but there are 11 in particular that bear mentioning. What are the major theories of time travel? I have heard about the cosmic string theory at least. Oh, this graphic. Neutron star theory, black hole theory, light speed theory, tachyon theory, tachyon theory. I think that's it. I'm sorry. I don't want to be here. I don't. You guys are probably like, this guy's a wuss. But anyway, wormhole theory, exotic matter theory, cosmic string theory, quantum gravity theory, cesium laser theory, cesium. Is that it? Cesium? Probably cesium. Okay. Elementary particle ring in laser theory? Dirac antiparticle theory? Not bad. Perhaps Makase Kurisu is a worthy rival after all. However, all of these models are purely theoretical. She looks so happy. Some of them even contradict each other. Well, what if someone comes up with a 12th model? Right, well. It could be contradicted by the 13th model, now couldn't it? Accursed girl. I didn't expect that she'd twist my question and use it against me. All of a sudden, I can feel everyone's eyes on me. It's risky to be conspicuous, so I probably shouldn't get too carried away. By the way, time travel to the future is available to us right now according to Einstein's special theory of relativity. For example, let's say someone were to go to Haneda Airport and board a plane headed to Okinawa. Upon arrival, that person would be about 100 millionth of a second further into the future than I am. What does that mean? According to the special theory of relativity, time moves slower for objects as they approach the speed of light. For example, if you could run at near the speed of light, you could reach a point where time only moves half as fast for you. If you were to keep running at that speed for 24 hours, 48 hours would elapse in the rest of the world, meaning you would jump one day into the future. Understand? Hyoin Kyoma? Why are you singling me out? Because you idiot, Okabe. Then what about going to the past? Going to the past is possible right now. Take a look at the sky at night. You can see light from tens of thousands of years ago, can't you? Well, I was just getting started. Let's say we wanted to make a machine that could physically transport people through time. What would we need? The best candidates for this are cosmic strings and wormholes. A cosmic string is a string-shaped crevice with extreme mass. A string-shaped crevice? That must be how they enter our universe. But do cosmic strings really exist? You know, even though this part of the visual novel is kind of cringe-worthy to me, just the part of Okabe being really rude and interrupting Kurisu after looking into her jacket, which, you know, Okabe doesn't help your case at all, but I really do enjoy the talks of, like, time travel and universe travel, or alternate realities and stuff. I always love it when it's implemented into fiction. I really love reading stories about it. I even pay attention to it in real life sometimes. Like, I don't know, it's a very interesting topic to me, and that's another reason I really like Steins Gate. It implements a lot of things that I enjoy, both in fiction and non-fiction, and just jumbles that, like, this anime has the most of everything I enjoy out of all other animes. Now, I get some people get confused by it, but it's very, like, for me, I can pay attention because, like, I'm into these sort of things. If you're not really into, like, time travel and alternate universes, it can be very confusing, but I think once you get past the confusion, like, you can actually really enjoy this anime for yourselves, and I recommend y'all go watch that anime, the anime. It's really great. Of course, there's a lot of stuff they take out of this for the anime, but I do think the anime is a very worthy adaptation, and I think it's one of the best anime adaptations from the source material out there, because they do change things, you know, to make it more anime, but it's still the same, it's still a similar story. You can get something new out of it if you already did play the VN, but you can, it's awesome, okay? It's okay, go watch it. Anyway, the crevice is about as wide as an elementary particle, and at least as long as the diameter of a galaxy. It has immense mass, so it distorts space-time. If you were to travel through that distortion, you could make a full circle around the string in less than 360 degrees. In short, you can do something resembling a warp. This is called a space-time angular deficit. When you pass through an area of angular deficit, transit time becomes 0. I hope I'm saying that right. Now we apply this to a cosmic string moving at near light speed. According to the special theory of relativity, time will flow slower for the cosmic string in relation to its surroundings. In other words, you could arrive in the past after transit. If you use 2 cosmic strings, you can do a space deficit jump. If you loop back to your original location, you can return to the same time you started revolving. And that, roughly speaking, is time travel by means of cosmic strings. By the way, just so nobody misunderstands, cosmic strings are not the same as superstrings. Now then, you need 3 things in order to travel to the past with cosmic strings. First, the cosmic strings themselves, 2 strings to be exact. By the way, they are hypothesized to exist only where the universe was first formed, so they might be a little hard to find. Second, you would need the energy required to make them move at near light speed. That kind of looks like a satellite on the board. It looks just a little bit like a satellite, Kurisu. How much energy do you think you'd need to accelerate something as long as the Milky Way to near the speed of light? I'm pretty sure it's a little more than 1.21 gigawatts. Third, you'd need a spaceship capable of reaching those cosmic strings and returning with the time traveler alive, of course. What do you think, Hyoin-san? Care to take on the challenge of cosmic string time travel? Like that's even possible, and why the hell is she addressing me? Looks like Hyoin-san doesn't want to take the challenge. In that case, let's consider wormholes. They may be a little more realistic than cosmic strings. By the way, Hyoin-san, do you know what wormholes are? Since I've been challenged though, I can't leave the question unanswered. It's like a shortcut through space, right? Yes, that's correct. Aren't you a smug beautiful lady? There are two wormholes joined by a tunnel. No matter how far away the wormholes are, transit time through the tunnel is 0. But oh no, there's a problem. The wormhole tunnel suffers from supergravity and collapses as soon as it opens. So we need something to negate the effect of gravity. The wormhole collapses on itself due to its own immense gravity. Exotic matter has negative mass and negative energy, so-called exotic matter, a substance with negative mass which repulses other matter. Negative mass, huh? Is it something that floats if you leave it on the ground? Maybe not. I can't even begin to imagine what it would be like. Say that the wormhole tunnel is being squished by an invisible fist. In order to pass through, you need something that could oppose my fist's grasping force so that I can't squish anymore. If you stabilize the tunnel with exotic matter injection, instantaneous travel between wormholes becomes possible. To travel through time, however, takes a little bit more effort. For example, let's say there's a wormhole entrance here in Akihabara and the exit is in Los Angeles. First, we send the wormhole in LA all the way to the end of the universe at near the speed of light, and once it's there, we yank it back to LA. How? According to the special theory of relativity, time slows down for objects moving at the speed of light, meaning the hole that returned to LA would be further in the past than the Akihabara hole. So now if Hyoin-san jumped into the wormhole, he'd arrived in LA several years before he left. However, this still can't be called true time travel. It only seems that way. This is called the Urashima effect. Urashima. The important part is to return to Akihabara from LA through the wormhole once more, since the transit time is 0. Hyoin-san will return to Akihabara several years in the past, time travel complete. The prerequisites for wormhole travel are similar than the ones for cosmic string travel. First, the wormhole itself. They may exist somewhere in the universe, but nobody has ever seen one. Second, the energy required to move a wormhole to the end of the universe and back at near light speed. Third, exotic matter, which by the way has not been confirmed to exist. So, implementation of either one would require a ridiculous amount of power, and incorporating them into a time machine is even more untenable. Now, do you see what I meant when I said that time travel is an absurd concept? Time travel theories are just thought experiments. Not one of them can create a viable time machine. That is my answer. This is the limit of modern physics. I can't say how it might change in the future, in 10 years though. Besides, even if someone did overcome the logistical requirements, there may be other factors that prevent time travel from working. And that's because fundamental problems concerning the principle of causality have not yet been solved. You mean time paradoxes and conservation of mass. The mass of the entire universe is constant. If a time machine traveled from the future to the past, there would suddenly be the extra mass of the time machine in its pilot in the past. I remember reading in a book, not a terrible reputable book, but still, that such a violation of mass conservation would put the universe in danger. It didn't say what kind of danger, though. Now, now I'm not a scientist. I'm just gonna bring this point up because I feel like, you know, always question. That is what our universe. That's what I think. That's the principle of science. Always question. Even things that we know, we might figure out something new about that makes us know it even more, or changes our views on it. So they say that there's extra mass once the time traveler and its pilot land in the past. But what if, let's say, a time machine was created, and instead of doing that, it recreated, instead of moving your mass, what if it traded out mass from one point in time to another? Or what if it converted the mass from one time to make another you, basically, kind of. I feel like there is other ways of thinking around this, but then, you know, a scientist or whatever could probably counteract those points with some sort of theory or whatever, or some sort of rule. I don't know, that's just me thinking, you know? Okay, it didn't say what kind of danger, though. If you think that conservation of mass applies to macro systems like the universe, or microsystems like atoms or elementary particles, you're mistaken. What is that true? Huh. She's laughing at my reaction, that little... God, how mortifying. Conservation of mass only applies to chemical reactions. It doesn't hold in modern physics at all. Then what is the problem? The time paradox of time paradoxes. In other words, the grandfather paradox. Oh, that thing where you kill your own ancestors before you were born. Now that's where you get into cross time. It's not... believe it or not, think of time. Like, we think of time as a constant. One, like we think of it more as, like not a rope. That's a good example for it later, though. Just like a single thread of string. That's what we think of time. It's one point that has a beginning and an end, but there's nothing else there. But imagine it more like a tree or a rope. I'll use the tree and the rope. Let's say a tree. Alright? Let's say you're looking at a giant tree. Like a giant tree that's fully grown with all of its branches. Okay, now imagine the trunk of the tree is your main timeline. That is where you exist, from the moment you were born to the moment you were old. But the branches are their own versions of that history. Every acorn that falls and grows another tree is another version of that history. So, let's say in the main trunk, you live to be 100, you live a normal life, you know, you're happy, you get a family and everything, but then imagine in another universe, you died early. Imagine in another universe, you became filthy rich. Imagine in another universe, you got really poor, and that's the branches. And then the acorns drop and build a new timeline. Like, that is how, that is another way of looking at time. Now, again, all of these are hypotheticals or theories, but that's how I would like to think that time is. I think that is an interesting way of looking at it, and that's how I see it, or how I believe to see it. Or a rope, which they'll bring this example up later on in the visual novel, or if you watch the anime, where, actually, you know what, I'll leave that hanging for now, because that actually, now that I think about it, is a bit different, is a bit of a different topic. Similar, but very different, and I was about to explain it like it was the same thing. Anyway, oh, that thing where you kill your own ancestors before you were born. As long as this paradox goes unsolved, time travel can never be realized. Never. What if you just don't kill them? You can't think of it like a sci-fi movie. It's not just about your family tree. There are far greater dangers than that. Really, it doesn't seem that dangerous. Any paradox, no matter how small, would cause the total collapse of causality, relativity, and every other physical law in existence. Paradoxes are nothing more than thought experiments. They cannot occur in reality, and they should not. Nothing that has even a 0.00001% chance of causing a paradox can happen. The universe won't allow it. Wouldn't you say this is the logical conclusion? There may be loopholes like parallel worlds or the self-consistency principle, but those seem too much like fantasy for me to accept. Now, Kurisu, this is where we differ, because I believe in parallel worlds. I might sound like a nut job for believing in them. I just believe in them, okay? I think that is a very cool thing to see. Like, how do we know that we're our only us? We're the only version of... You're the only version of you. I'm the only version of me. Like, I feel like that's... I don't know, to me that seems more unrealistic. Just like how, like, we're alone in the universe or whatever. That seems very unrealistic. It's interesting. I'm sorry, I'm nerding out, okay? I'm gonna try not to nerd out as much in the future, but I feel like for this, like, I can have this, since this is basically what they're arguing about. There may be loopholes like parallel worlds, blah blah blah. Okay, I already read that. I grind my teeth. Looks like I have no choice but to concede. Makase Kurisu truly is a genius. I know we got off on the wrong foot. Can I have your number? I ended up listening to all of Kurisu's lecture at ATF. After the two time travel theories she introduced at the beginning, she explained the rest with equal eloquence. She seemed a little nervous at first, but that quickly changed as she spoke. By the end, it was an impressive lecture, so impressive that you wouldn't think it was an 18-year-old girl's first time. She did well to respond to my malicious questions with sarcasm. She's got guts. Kurisu's awesome. Wait, why am I praising her? Leaving that aside, I saw Makase Kurisu dead. And yet, she is alive. My memories don't mesh with reality. And not just my memories of Kurisu, but also my conversations with Mayuri. Daru too, everything that happens in this reality stands in stark opposition to the world I remember. Everything would be solved if I just told myself that what I saw was a dream, an illusion, it never happened. I feel like there's a but coming. By the time I had snapped out of my internal monologue, Daru had wandered off, so be it. I need to focus on finding a way to discover the true cause of my contradicting memories anyway. Just imagine though, if like you, like sometimes those are dreams. But just imagine like how weird it would be to like, for like an entire day or an entire, like, to just change, like all of a sudden everyone remembers it differently than you. I would be freaking out, which I think Okabe is too. He just, he internal monologues it better, but I'd be like, what? Am I crazy? Like you'd be thinking you snapped. This leaves me with no choice. I arrive at Yanabayashi Shrine. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Steins Gate Elite. I'm sorry I went on a bit of a, I just like the idea of time travel in alternate universes. So, I like talking about those. This was, again, I'll try not to go on a nerd rant about those and the future. I don't know. I just felt since, they were having a conversation about it, I could go into my own thoughts about it. But anyway, guys, my name is Zora. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Steins Gate Elite. If you did, make sure to leave a rating, a comment, and make sure to hit the subscribe and bell button. But anyway, guys, my name is Zora. Let's roll the end card.
Sup guys, Carrie here. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see more, check out our previous video here. Or if you'd like to support the channel, check out our Patreon here. There's also a video that was picked up by YouTube just for you. And lastly, you can click here to subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Peace off!